Stan, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thanks for holding.
Well, you're welcome. You ready? You're sitting down, right? Because this is testimonial time, Bobby.
Okay.
You have saved my bacon 3 special times and more, but let me comment on 3.
Okay.
And it all has to do with your comments about using carb cleaner to start an engine instead of ether. I had a friend, and we'd gone through a lot of problems on this little Onan 6.5 kilowatt boat generator.
Right.
And we're now, the automatic choke doesn't work. That's the last thing, and we haven't replaced it. Squirted a little bit of carb cleaner in that thing. Boom. Going. Second one, my boat, somehow the filter, the screw-on filter that separates the fuel, what's called water separation filter.
Water, yes.
Was loose. And so I'm going through it. It won't start. So I'm going through and I check out stuff. And so I noticed that it's loose. So I go ahead and take it out and empty it to make sure it doesn't have any water in it. I put it back in. Of course, now it's empty and I got to fill it. 3 squirts of carb cleaner into that flame arrestor.
Mm-hmm.
Each time the engine starts, it pumps some more fuel in.
Right.
The third time, it's got fuel flowing again. We're off and running. The third one is my weed whacker, which is just doesn't like to start at all. They say 6 pulls with full choke and then take the choke off. It's just, so this time, and it didn't want to start at all, a couple of squirts of carb cleaner into the intake of that thing, and we're off and cleaning. And I just so appreciate you. That is, it's not magic, but it's sure close.
Well, I really appreciate you hearing that. I hear that from you, Stan, and that really means a lot to me. That not only your confidence has shown that we're worthy of it. I had a dear friend that had a Mercedes SL, a classic automobile that he was storing for a lady who was actually taking the car to France and going to drive it in a race over in France. And she was traveling from Texas, and I forget her name, but she's well known. And the bottom line, after a couple of months in storage, it wouldn't prime. You know, it would turn over, and it wouldn't prime. And so it was a Saturday after the program. I get this text on my iPhone, and he said, "Hey, this is Brian. I need your help." And I said, "Okay." And I went down to take a look at it, and his he has these apartments downtown, and he was storing this car for this lady in this apartment.
I know Brian.
And yes. I sent his wife after some hairspray. And because I didn't know where a parts store was downtown, you know, and I said, right. I figured that she could pick up. She says, "I've got a toolkit," and sure enough, she did. And Crystal had her toolkit, and she came back with this beautiful. You could tell it had never been used, but nonetheless, she had this toolkit, and I sent her after some hairspray, and all I wanted to do was the engine to get a breath of something that it would burn.
Yes.
That it would get up on its feet and run, rather than see the terrible thought is to have that engine going cranking over, because that damages the pistons, or could damage, because there's no lubrication at cranking speeds to the piston. So I'm delighted that you. Anyway, she came back, as it turned out, with some ether. Because she had turned the corner up there on Cervantes somewhere and had said there was a parts store. So she stopped and says, "You got any cranking fluid?" And she came back, and what a surprised look on my face. I said, "How did you know about ether? I sent you after hairspray." And but she had known over this little place. But anyway, hey, thanks for calling out. You made my day. I appreciate it.
I got to tell you that even I like the program so much that even when I have to miss it to do something else, I go on iTunes and download it. And a fun part is that I accidentally had it on 2 times speed, so I can really run through your program in a hurry.
Like here, I can understand that. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could. Thanks, Stan.
Have a blessed day, sir.
Bye-bye. Nice gentleman there. 888 Car Clinic.